Welcome back to TalkBack. We are talking to the former governor of Sindh and the former interior minister of Pakistan, Lieutenant General Moinuddin Haider. General Haider, business line, 2nd of March 2004. You asked the question, General Musharraf has promised to step down as army chief by the end of the year. But once he does that, will his influence in overseeing the army not diminish? Will the army fully back him? And you responded, sir. You said, in most of the policies discussed and decisions taken, the army senior command is fully behind him. Even without the uniform, he will have the support of the army because he has carried them along on major decisions. He will continue to enjoy their support. Two questions arise. First question, are you saying that anybody who has the support of the army can become president?
No, not at all. This is a specific question. What happens when he takes off his uniform? Will he lose control? I said, no, he will not lose control because, our chief executive, these days president is acting as chief executive, is also the supreme commander.
Are you also saying, by the logic of this question, are you also saying that anyone who has the confidence of the army can become president?
No, I'm not saying that at all. That meaning should not be taken. But I know that army behind the scene has been, making its opinion known to the president and the prime minister.
But General, it's interesting. You served at the behest, at the pleasure of a uniformed general.
Yes.
And now you are writing letters, you are in PILDAT,
yes,
the organization which is for transparency and democracy.
Yes.
Isn't it strange that while you were working for him, it was quite all right, and now that you're done, you are not for him?
This is so because he made a promise to the nation. He made a speech to the nation that he will take off his uniform in 2004 and that he'll be a civilian president. And now the new elections which are coming, in which he is showing his intentions that he wants to continue to be in uniform and be elected by the same assemblies, which we discussed through many legal minds, justices and barristers, who said that the present amendments in the constitution don't allow him. And secondly, I said, you said I've served for 37 years in the army. I feel that when policies go wrong, which they do go wrong, they would go wrong if there is a civilian president or a civilian prime minister. But when there is a man in uniform, if something goes wrong, the army gets maligned for nothing. And I have a lot of love for our armed forces, like the rest of the country.
But General,
I want these two offices to be separated.
This sounds like the old adage. This is the classic case of you being pro-army when you're in the army.
I am pro-army today.
Of being pro-government when you're in the government, but once you're out of it,
no,
you're not.
Now, what
you're anti-establishment, you're anti-government, you want him to take off his uniform, you're writing letters.
All right. I am writing letters because President himself is saying that I will take away this uniform in end of 2004, which he did not. So I am writing a letter to him in 2006, 2 years after that. Secondly, I am seeing the national landscape that people are wanting a change, that we should have a civilian setup. And if the president
But there's no consistency in your position, General.
No, there is always, there is too much consistency in my position. Let me clarify. 3 years that I was in the cabinet, you asked my cabinet colleagues, every time I said, democracy is the way forward for our country.
But he was
clean elections are a way forward to our country.
But he was in
all
uniform.
The time.
But he was in uniform.
Yeah, he was in uniform.
And you were working for him.
The Supreme Court allowed him. The Supreme Court gave him 3 years. And after those 3 years, I quit.
He still has permission to do that.
Yes, through the MMA, and they have made a constitutional amendment. But part of that constitutional amendment was that he will take off his uniform in 2004. So now I am saying this for good of Pakistan.
You said, sir, people in the article in Dawn, people best judge of government's policies, says Moin. This is a quote from you. Performance of the government is before the masses, and I hope people will make the right decision in the referendum. You were supporting the referendum. 2002. Yes. You were supporting the referendum, General.
All right.
Now you're writing him letters.
No.
And then you tell me that your position is not consistent.
No, my position is consistent. All along in the army, I have believed that there has to be democracy. The armed forces should be listening to a
Were you for the referendum?
Yeah, we were all.
How'd that turn out?
No, I mean, as far as the referendum is concerned, we were part of that decision. We were in the cabinet. And even if we personally don't, support that, we have to be part of that.
But you were for a referendum, sir, which was rigged.
I mean, if the cabinet,
by the same logic,
if the president says that I am thinking of referendum and there is a discussion in the cabinet, many of us don't agree, many of us agree, but a decision is taken that the president will go ahead, we have to be behind him.
So you just follow orders.
Yes, I like to follow.
Where do you draw the line?
Now, when you are a part of a team, you don't have to break the team every morning.
That's a very military mindset, General.
Listen to me,
You
sir.
have to stop listening to your CEO at some point.
Listen to me, sir. All the political people here with long political experiences, ministers and what not, what they are doing? They are towing his line all the time. We used to say, sir, don't do this, don't do this. We used to raise our voice also. But these people, everybody is towing his line. We at least were,
What about you, General? Forget everybody else.
Yes.
What about you? Where do you draw the line?
Now, I have told you that if you disagree, the best way is to resign. And I said, if you are wanting to resign, then you should have 4 resignations all the time in your pockets. And everyone says, you have said this I cannot do, take my resignation. But if I feel that by being there, I can make my humble contribution to the nation and to the country, well, I will agree with what he says and be part of his team, and yet continue to make some good and continue to deliver. And this was my policy.
All right, we need.
And if something was, we
need to take a break, General. We're talking to Lieutenant General Moinuddin Haider, former governor of Sindh and the former Interior Minister of Pakistan during 9/11. You're watching TalkBack. Stay tuned.